G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the south side of the map in the colour pink, playing as the English, we've got Duyakusi Twitch. And in the north of the map, in the colour green, playing as the Abbasid dynasty, we've got Cap. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a ranked ladder game here. We've finally got the English. It's been a while since we've casted an English game, but I'm looking forward to seeing how they're stacking up here, what kind of opening Duyakusi goes for. We've seen a fair few differences in the way that the English are opening in the most recent season. Notably, they now go for the Abbey of Kings, which is no longer a meme. We see on the north side, Cap already going to be throwing down his House of Wisdom here, getting it down nice and early as the Abbasid dynasty. I'm suspecting we're probably going to see an economic wing coming out from him, but Duyakusi, I reckon, I mean, it can go 50-50, right? Like, you can go with Old Faithful, the Council Hall, and you feel good about yourself, everything goes well, you know, you scale pretty decently in towards the Castle Age, you can get those crossbows out, or you can go for the Abbey of Kings and look to try and get out some early damage on. It kind of reminds me of playing as the French. It's that very similar sort of opening. The only difference is your follow-up's not that strong because it's not a stable that you're making, it's just an Abbey of Kings. It has heals, but that's pretty much it. So who knows exactly how Duyakusi looks to play. If I was going to be playing this matchup, though, one of the things I love to do is just go for 2 town centers off the bat and then straight into the Castle Age and just really look to put on pressure immediately towards that Abbasid Dynasty player. So let's see whether Cap does, or whether Duyakusi does that, and if so, how Cap looks to defend it, because this is it's a bit of an interesting matchup, right? Because normally what the Abbasid Dynasty like to do is they like to get at least 1 camel out. Against the English, it's not as important because the likelihood that they go for the cavalry is pretty low. They prefer that infantry, at least in the Feudal Age. In the Castle Age, obviously, there's a big emphasis on cavalry with knights early on in the Castle Age being really, really strong. Now, before we do get into our transitions, I will just encourage you guys, if you'd like to check out either of these players, I'll leave links in the description of where you can watch them. And in addition to that, if you'd like to leave a like on the video, I encourage you to do so. Definitely helps out the channel. But we do now see the first age up coming through, and Calp's going to be going with the economic wing, so no real surprise there. You've got a couple of options. Realistically, military wing is quite big, but I think against the English, it doesn't really make that much sense. Unless maybe you scouted that they were going for the Abbey first, then maybe it could make sense if you were looking to go for like a 2 TC play here. But I'm curious to see exactly how Calp is going to be going for the eco wing, because my theory is, and I've seen this posted before, so I've really just stolen someone else's theory, is that Eco Wing's not really worth it if you're going early Feudal, unless you're going to go for more than 2 TCs. So maybe we see that. I know Cap's a bit of a memer, so we could potentially look to see that. And he's bringing 8 villagers now out over onto gold. So maybe fearful about a men-at-arms. No, he could be fearful of a men-at-arms. Why does he have 8 villagers on gold right now? That is a huge amount. Is he looking... I have got no idea why he's doing this right now. Is he just looking to gather up all the gold for like the wheelbarrow, for fresh foodstuffs, for Fertile Crescent? Maybe that's what he's doing, and then he's going to move all the villagers off, so just kind of get it out of the way. That could be what he's looking to do. But let's check in over on the other side of the map, though, because Duyakusi's always also got the age up in, and it is going to be the Council Hall. So no, I will say there's a bit of a surprise. Not a surprise, but okay, cool. There you go. Like I don't know what I expected. I'm just going to leave it at that. But we've got the town center that's going to be coming up shortly. Is looking to scout out the enemy base as well. So Cap going to be scouted out here. Duyakusi in a pretty decent spot, though. I like the way that he's positioned his base. You know, my general rule whenever I'm positioning my my council hall is always you want to go towards that wood line. This space is going to be the space that you're not building farms under, at least not normally. So this is a really good spot to be building your council hall. Often you do see players look to put that council hall down with their gold mining villages, but you think about it, right? Like if you throw your council hall down right here, it potentially blocks farms coming down or blocks the second town center coming down. So that's a consideration that you've got to make. But over on the other side of the map, we do see that Duyakusi has scouted out Cap. He knows the Eco Wing is coming through. And speaking of Eco Wing, take a look at this. We got Fertile Crescent on the way through. 124 gold in the bank. How much does it cost to get fresh foodstuffs? 125. So he's left 124 for what? I got no idea what that's for. 124 gold. Maybe he's looking for like a double broad axe or something, or a specialized pick. Age up come through on the other side, though. Let's check in with Duyakusi as the first longbowmen do make their way out onto the field. A little bit of a late age up, I would say, 4 minutes 40, especially if you're thinking about getting out some longbows early on, because realistically, you're not going to be too much too disruptive over towards your enemy at this stage of the game. Realistically, Cap's going to get the resources that he needs for that first town center, and that's really key because he wants to try and get that up as quickly as he can. I don't think he'll actually get the town center up in time, though. Normally, you will see that first town center go up on the stone if players are thinking to do more than one TC. So we'll have to wait and see exactly how he plays. But he is throwing down that mill now. Has spent, indeed, the 100 gold on the double broadaxe. So that doesn't really surprise me. Double broadaxe are a very strong eco upgrade. And typically, most civilizations are going to focus heavily on wood early on, as we can see right here. Diakusi with 11 villages. Cap with 10 villages so far on the wood. But the first longbowman comes through. Beautiful job by Diakusi scouting that out. And slowly but steadily going to be working this down. And you can see he's actually gathered up the stone. Almost enough. Is that for 2? I think he might have enough for 2 right there. Let's quickly double check. 200... never mind. Nowhere near enough for 2. I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking maybe 162 or something like that. But still a decent amount that he's gathered up there. So it looks like he does want to go for the second villager. But he may... Or second town center. But it looks like he may lose a villager. Indeed he does. But we know that Cap wants to go for at least go for a third TC. Meanwhile, back towards the base of Diakusi, we indeed see that second town center is now coming out. He's looking to go ham here and throws the TC down over on the deer. So this is a bit more of an advanced technique, something that I often encourage people to avoid, at least until they're Conqueror 3, just because there's so many decisions that need to go into a placement of a town center like this. But I think this is a pretty reasonable spot that he's got, especially considering the second deer patch is right out here, immediately adjacent. But we do have the second TC coming out from Calp now, so it looks like it's going to be on the stone, which is a pretty smart move when you think about it. The only question I've got, okay, I kind of answered it almost immediately. Where do you send... You brought all your villagers out here immediately, and you've thrown this TC down on the big stone, which protects it. But what are they going to do then, right? Like, realistically, you can put a mill down here, but then you're still exposed to longbows through this stealth forest. Normally, you want that... You want that town center right on top of that resource. And he's got it on top of the stone, but... I mean, how much stone do you really need in life? At least early on in the feudal age, and you got 2,400 in here. You aren't going to be using all of that stone this early on. But we do now see... On the side of Diakusi, that push is coming through. Slowly but steadily, he is just harassing down these villagers, being ultra annoying here. This is so frustrating to deal with, and you can see that scout actually spots that the low health villager out, but he's not able to reach, and so he's just got the single bows around here, splitting them up. So it looks like it's going to be 2 TCs from Diakusi. A lot of wood stacked up right now. Definitely a bit of a delay in adding in these farms. Normally, I love to get these farms added in as quickly as you can. And you can see he's actually out of food on the main town center. But now that I think about it, I don't think food or having the farms down really matters, just because he's got the extra food in the hunt. So that's always something to consider. And that's going to be plenty of income for him. But let's check over with Calp, because he had dropped down that second town center now. And we do see a third TC. So third TC is coming up now for Calp. So I guess pretty... How many TCs are you going to go for today, Cap? So it looks like Cap is going to be doing the classic town center spam. The last time I saw this was a demo game, and I think that was it demo? Or it might have been Snooper. I remember there was a game where somebody just killed their opponent with villagers, and it was Abbasid villagers. It was back before Abbasid villagers were nerfed. Remember how Abbasid villagers used to cost 25 food each, and then they changed it to 32 food each once they've got fresh foodstuffs? Well, I think it was back then, and I just remember, I think it might have been Snooper doing the villagers only to conquer a challenge, and he literally just killed all of his enemies with villagers and villagers only. I don't even think he was like making keeps or anything like that. It was just literally villagers, and he just focused the landmarks down. But Calp is going to be taking some inspiration from that game, it seems. Villagers only is going to be the strategy here for Calp, by the looks of it. Either that or he's saving for a keep, but that wouldn't make sense. He's nowhere near aging up at all at this stage. Unless he has clicked up and it just... Yeah, he hasn't clicked up. There's no way I would have missed that. So, yeah, a little bit of a head scratcher here from Calp. We'll have to wait and see exactly what goes on. He's still got 13 villagers on stone. And remember, it costs 262. So he's got in the bank right now enough for 3 town centers with 13 villagers still on the stone. How many town centers are you going for right now, Calp? Unless he's going for stone walls. But the gentleman's agreement at the top level, and when I say top level, I'm talking Conk 3 Plus, says that you do not make stone walls in the feudal age. And, you know, what's interesting is often the devs will ask and they'll be like, oh, you know, you guys don't make stone walls in the feudal age. Why not? And you will explain why. And they're like, oh, do you have any examples of that? And it's like, no, we haven't, because we haven't played with feudals, with stone walls in the feudal age for like 18 months, bro. what kind of evidence can we give you? It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen at the top level. So Camp just going to be going 100% town centers by the looks of it. And we do see more TCs getting dropped down. That's going to be 4 TCs already for Camp before the 10-minute mark. This guy he's getting pretty keen on the economy. Second layer of farms coming down now for Duyakusi. He's going to be able to click up shortly here. Interesting timing on the age up coming through for Duyakusi, but I guess he did go for a little bit of aggression, which is going to delay that down. And now we've got ourselves another town center coming down from Cap here. I guess I realistically shouldn't be surprised. He's gathering up stone again. Oh my lord! How many? Is he actually going for like only villagers challenge right now? That could be the case. We could be seeing that, but. Over towards the base of Camp now, we can see he's getting quite heavy on the wood. Keep in mind, he does have that double broadaxe through. Have we got... No, we don't have wheelbarrow through just yet, but he is starting to gather up gold down here. King's Palace on the other side of the map is going to get thrown down, so I'm not going to be going into the White Tower, which, in my opinion, is a bit of a mistake. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm all about, you know, when your enemy's got 3 TCs and you've got 2 TCs, you want to try and get even, you want to try and get that 3rd TC down. But this right here is an invitation. Now, I don't know exactly how much Duyakusi knows about the position of Cap, but when you see 1, 2, 3, 4 TCs, there's a really good assessment that you can do. And it's basically called, I don't even know what you'd call it. You call it the investment assessment. Boom, there you go. Right there. Drongo coming at you with some live investment. Actually, I'm not going to say that. I don't want to get sued. Basically, if you go White Tower right now, you are just going to be out units, right? It is the Burgrave. It is the poor man's Burgrave, but at the same time the rich man's Burgrave because of its flexibility. So I advocate for the White Tower because it just allows you to have so much flexibility. Come out straight away, knights out of the gate, and then you start moving into spearman crossbow. At the same time, research siege engineering, start making your battering rams out on the field. You clean all this up. And I mean, realistically, oh my god, there's more TCs. Oh my god, the man doesn't stop. How many town centers are we at right now? We're at 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 town centers at this point, and he's still gathering stone. He's not stopping. He is not stopping. He is not stopping making town centers. But yeah, for me though, this is like just an invitation to go for the White Tower, and you don't have to put it in his base, right? You put your White Tower down here next to your town center. You're just using it for production, right? It's basically a council hall that can do everything. That's the way I think about it. So immediately out of the gates, you're just getting this huge boost in your unit production ability. Look at this. Over towards the east, we've got another town center. How many TCs? Okay, counting with Drongo. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's going to be town center number 8 coming down right now for Cap. This guy is actually just spamming out TCs. Look at the stone. He's literally finished the stone. He's going to have to go back to the stone in his base, or otherwise, never mind. It's the classic Gold League. It's the Gold League double banger right there. Jeez, the Gold League double banger. There we go. I got it in the end. You love to see it. You love to see it. More TCs coming. Oh my god. Oh. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Counting with Drongo. We are counting all the town centers that Cap is planning on making today. We're up to 10 town centers. 10 town centers. I've got a sneaky suspicion that this is probably going to be on the thumbnail. So if it's not, well, congratulations. You've been adequately surprised. But I suspect it will. Is town center spam going to become meta? Could it become meta? This game will tell us whether that will be the case. Spearman spam, though, that's going to start. Look at the amount of villagers he's got on food right now. We might even switch these bad boys over. Almost doubling Duyakusi at this point in time with the villager count. Keep in mind, every 20 seconds, he's making 10 villagers. That's a lot of villagers. Back towards the enemy base, though. The economy is kicking. Relics are getting picked up. Military number starting to build, but I still feel like Calp's in a decent spot. This is absolutely wild. When you think about it, right? Think for a second, just stop and think. Stop for a second and think. Look how heavily he has invested in town centers, and yet still is barely half a second away from castle age. Not to mention the fact he has got units out here. He's pretty much double the economy of his opponent. Culture Wing comes through. Out of all the things, Culture Wing, I would have felt like Military Wing would have made sense here just for like a little bit of extra firepower on the defense, but he's going to try and throw down production right now. Crossbow numbers have started to build. He's just moving into meta arm crossbow. Definitely a smart choice early on. Crossbows won't have a lot of things to shoot at. He's going to have to fall back away from this, though, with the production. You need to be building it on the back line. And indeed, that is the right call. Now, +1 ranged armor. Or range attack can be coming through for Cal. Duyakusi really on the aggressive here. Look at the amount of resources coming in. Cap up to 122 villages. He doesn't even care if he loses villas at this point. Every time he loses 10 villages, it takes him 20 seconds to replace them. Just remember that. Outpost now coming up on the front line. Numbers behind this starting to look really, really scary. Duyukusi overwhelming his opponent right now. I feel like I'm watching a beastie game. The way that he's just overrunning here. A little bit of a wall comes up over on the east side. Relic's getting snagged away. Town center gets scouted out here. Cladding going to be coming through for Duyukusi as well, so that'll help him out against that little bit of extra damage that's coming in from the town centers, or at least that will be coming out from those town centers. More and more vills going down, but now you can see that he is officially eclipsed and a half right now over on Duyukusi's side. 62 idols, though. That is what I would call a large amount of idols. But look how quickly that they slice through this many arms. It's not even close. There's so many arrows that just come out. It's like the turtle is returning to Age of Empires 4. It's gone into hibernation. I don't know if turtles hibernate. I feel like they probably don't. It's hibernated like a bear. And now it's come back. And at this point, if I'm Duyukusi, I'm genuinely starting to panic, because I've got a great economy, but I'm looking at all these town centers and I'm like, okay, this is starting to be worrisome. So I think from here, all Kalp needs to do is just stop making villages and start making units, and he wins. Right? Like, he's that far ahead. I think another issue is that, okay, well, Duyukusi's doing the right thing. My main fear is that the production here from Duyukusi isn't the strongest. I mean, he's been going ham on the village account, that's for sure. He's picked up relics. One thing to note about relics is that you look at relics and you're like, oh yeah, that's easy. But my estimate at the 15-minute mark is that a relic costs you the equivalent of about 15 military production. Or not a relic, but rather looking to take relics. Costs you the equivalent of about 15 military units. So that means at this point, or, you know, technically at say the 15-minute mark, instead of being at 24 military, he could have been at 39 military. That was my calculations, which is pretty significant when you think about it. So it's definitely, you got to be careful not to stretch yourself too thin. Count now at 180 villagers in this 1 versus 1 game. I suspect he's probably thinking about going Imperial here, maybe Imperial into the military wing. That could work, that could work. Villager's gonna get pulled. Might need to repair up this town center. You can see the vills do indeed pull out their torches. No textiles at this stage. Probably a good idea to invest in. The crossbow's going to be able to slowly snipe them out. Spriggan emplacement on the outpost. Duyukusi taking a play out of the Mongols playbook right now. Trying to bait forward with the battering rams. Villagers continue to go down. We hear them screaming and calling out. Damage starting to be done now to the keep. He's going to cancel and immediately brings the torches out. Watch out, battering rams. Look how little damage, though, that these guys are taking. These guys are barely taking any damage right now. Plenty of vills in here. He's lost a lot of vills. 41 villagers lost, but Kalp's still on 175 at this point. Sacred Site's getting taken behind this. Camel Archer numbers starting to build here. 15 damage apiece on these bad boys. But the first town center might be going down, I think. How many TCs are we on at the moment? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. So he's just gone to 10. He said 10 town centers. That's all I need. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 10 town center meta. Try saying that 6 times fast. That's gonna be hard. That's gonna be hard. The 10 town center meta. 10 town center meta. Look at this. He throws it down. He's like, I gotta get my 10th TC back up immediately. It's part of the build order. And you can see that Kalp's at the point where he's just got, his economy's so big, he's got idols out the wazoo. He had 50 idols, he just fixed them up then. But now those camel numbers are starting to build here. You can see he's really struggling to get him out though. Needs to just throw down a whole bunch of production. Not enough wood in the bank. You just got to get everybody over onto wood right now. And you can see he's throwing vills out here. Let's have a look and see. He's up to 45 villagers on wood at the moment. Keep will come up. Slowly losing production on the front. He's going to be losing a blacksmith as well. Now those camels are really starting to grip it. He's not building up a decent number of them though. Look at this. He's losing out 5, 6 camels here. Really just... But I guess by the same token, Duyukusi's putting on the pressure. Now a forward keep coming out for Kalp up against Duyukusi. This is going to be looking to pick up a lot of those reinforcements. So either he reroutes them or he looks to attack this. Meanwhile, towards the front, camels are going to hold. Villagers do go down. 74 worker kills so far this game for Duyukusi. He is killing villagers like no other. It is not a pretty time right now to be a villager. We've still only got that 2nd tier of Golden Age. Could easily be 3rd tier right now, surely. What isn't in the... I guess he just doesn't have a whole bunch of production. At this point, you know, normally in my games when I'm at 176 villagers, I've got a lot more production than this. Let me tell you that much. Not really. There's not many games that you play where you get that high on production. So at this point, I'm thinking out loud, where does Calp go from here on the defense? I feel like you almost certainly just want to go into siege on the defense is definitely the right call. I was thinking more mangonels, so let's see if he goes for that. But the numbers are still building here. And you can see that they're evening out. But Duyakusi's playing well, and he's up to 116 bills, which is where you talk about realistically getting close to that peak. Nice little kiting starting to come out. Calp building up with those archer numbers. Looks like it's going to be double battering ram coming out from Calp together with the greased axle. So he's looking to try and force back these outposts at least for the moment, and at the same time Siege Workshop going to be working for Duyakusi, looking to bring out a ram of his own. Action all over this map at the moment. Meanwhile, Calp is looking to wall his opponent in. A forward keep. What is this playstyle? I tell you what, man, we're going to cast more Calp games. These are amazing. This guy just doesn't care right now. He is like a honey badger, continuing to just take over the map. He's up against double Sacred Site. Keep that in mind. The third one's still yet to be taken, at least for the moment. Sits down here, uncontested by either side. And now that 10th town center has gone down. He's down to 9 town centers. How will he ever recover? That is the question. 190 villagers. Calp is maxed. He's got 70 more villagers than his opponent, and that final battering ram does go down, but there's another one on the way through. And it definitely feels like Calp has capitalized. Oh, the 10th TC is back up. He refuses to have anything less than 10 TCs. This man, he says the 10 TCs is what gave me pleasure, and I will retain those town centers. We got ourselves a little bit of a... Let me get you one of these guys right here. You know, back in my day, this used to be illegal. But, you know, we've come a long way. We've come a long way. Civil rights and all that stuff. But, back towards the base of Calp. Still no age up coming through yet, despite that economy. Now, let's take a look at the upgrades. Doesn't have +2 yet, but all of the upgrades have come through. At least all the eco upgrades that you would expect. And I feel like Calp has held now. The resources are looking absolutely solid for him. He's managed to stabilize. Farming economy is coming up here. And he's got just production out the wazoo. So this is definitely Calp's game. At this point in time, at least, Calp's game to lose. It feels like he's in an incredible spot. Looking to break through the walls. Look at the military numbers, actually really nice here for Duyakusi, up to 46. Still got 17 population to play with as well. Men-at-arm numbers really rising. But keep in mind, once that Imperial Age comes through, hand cannoneers will break out onto the field. When it comes to dealing with the hand cannoneers, the English have got the longbowmen. Longbowmen trade very effectively against them with that longer range. They can kite them out. We do now see all 3 sacred sites have been taken. Duyakusi is looking to put that pressure on. Looking to put that pressure on for the sacred victory. Apologies, I don't know if you just heard then, but my phone chimed. Apologies. I appreciate that can be confusing sometimes. When someone... You know what? What's confusing? Discord message, dude. Oh my lord, imagine getting a Discord message in the middle of a cast. Everybody alt-tabs immediately, like, who was it? The joke's on you, though. I haven't had Discord notifications turned on in centuries. We got ourselves a bit of a bore somewhere. I can hear it. I can smell it. Looks like that forward push has been shut down for the moment. But I think my question is, at what point does Calp start deleting villages? He's lost 133 this game. But surely you want to start making some military here. We see him going into the Ghulams. We see him also moving into the crossbows. The numbers are starting to build here. But he's on 191 population. Duyakusi now maxed out. And Duyakusi's on the critical mass. You know, one of the things that I want to point out right now is that when you've got a villager number like this, you need to remember that you're fighting up against someone who's basically sitting at the same amount of villagers as you, except they have double the army. Think about it for a second. If you leave yourself 34 population for units, and your enemy leaves themselves 66 population for units, they're at a much greater advantage when it comes onto the military field, because they've got access to critical mass. But it looks like now the Ghulams are going to be coming out. No upgrades through just yet for Calp. Let's switch that back over to income per minute. We can see he's only at 300 gold a minute. Definitely a little bit of an oversight right there. Battering ram numbers are starting to build. And Calp now on the defense. Hand cannoneers are out, at least for the moment. They're going to be starting to mix in spears. Still no elite upgrades coming through, at least yet for Calp. Meanwhile, over on Diakusi's side, the Berkshire Palace gets thrown down. He says, you know what? I reckon this is a pretty good spot. Let's put it down here. And Kaup's in trouble. Look at the numbers here. Kaup going a little bit too greedy on the village account, up to 168. He wasn't putting on nearly enough pressure behind this. Sacred Victory is still ticking. Keep that in mind, actually. Is it still ticking? No, it's not still ticking. Never mind. I was looking. I'm like, where's the Sacred Victory counter? Haven't heard that bad boy in a while. We got more production coming up over on this east side right now. A huge amount of siege workshops here. And back towards the front. Diakusi continues to push in. Has Kaup gone too greedy? Has he gone too greedy? Imperial Age comes through. The only way you're dealing with this is through a trebuchet. And I'm not talking one. I'm talking like you need 8. Not really. Maybe 6. No, not even 6. 4. 3. I'll give you 3. 3 will do it. Either that or battering rams. But now these numbers are really starting to build up here for Diakusi. This is really getting tough. Look at Kaup. He's sitting on 7 military. He had so many chances this game to just build an army, and he never chose to do it. And I think it might come back to bite him because now Diakusi, take a look at what he's got going on. See, this is it. This is the English problem right now. Not only does he have maximum population, 200 out of 200, he's also got a whole bunch of production that is sitting here queued up inside these buildings, these men-at-arms, so that if anything dies on the front line, it is immediately replaced. And you can see he's got plenty of upgrades on the way as well here. Meanwhile, Kaup on the other side of the map, I don't even think he's got his elite upgrades through yet. Let's double check and quickly have a look. Elite Ghulams have come through. Okay, he's got the elite Ghulams. That's it. That's all we see for the moment. No boot camp through just yet. Definitely no elite army tactics. Cannot afford it. He's up to 1,100 gold in a minute. He's scouted out this gold in the back of the base. Yet to go for it. Doesn't really have a lot of access to gold either, so that could be a big factor the longer this game goes. And you can see the pressure right now that Diakusi's putting on the English push never stops. Not once. I mean, there was a little bit in that early game where it did kind of fizzle out, but Diakusi's back with a vengeance. The battering ram's doing such a good job. These guys are so hard to kill. You know, compare it to like a trebuchet or a bombard where they just get focused down. Like, good luck focusing down the battering rams. Just too many of them. Just too easy to control. And you don't even care. Even if you lose them, it's fine. I'll just go back. I'll just rebuild. It's not a problem. And we've got tier 3 being deactivated. We're going to be seeing that a lot. I'm going to switch up that perspective. Let's watch Diakusi right now. Hand cannoneer numbers up to 5. Still not really building. They're going to start going down on the front. We see the numbers building though. Kaup's going to be able to hold it a little bit longer. The siege is out. And now we can see those villagers being pulled to the front. And then, I mean, realistically, you know, I remember watching Crackety here play. Asking him about it, and he basically said 3 TC Chinese is not worth it because 2 TC Chinese is faster and it just gets to the your same goal just a little bit slower, a tiny little bit slower. And I can't help but feel we're watching that right now. And Diakusi, he's reached maximum villager count, right? 142. You don't need any more than that. That is more than enough. Whereas Kaup, yeah, he got there faster. But was he able to capitalize off it? Was he able to get anything from it? If anything, he's just put himself in a bad spot. He's given up a lot of map control. The 10 town center strategy, it seemed good. But maybe Kaup has to go back to the drawing board on this one. A really solid performance by Diakusi. Men-at-arms crossbow, together with the battering rams. Also just got a couple of monks out here. These guys taking away at the space of the military. Double mangonel out. Getting chased away here. Remember, they've got the repairs of the keep coming through. Up towards that top side. It looks like the gold is finally going to be taken out. At this point, I'm starting to look, where am I trading to? And you look at the trade posts and you're like, oh, that's awkward. They're right in the middle of the map. That's never fun. Not when you've got no access to gold and your enemy's got complete map control. Villagers coming out for Diakusi here. He's just looking to pick up some more wood. He's starting to exhaust all of it. Take a look at this. A little bit left in the base. Just a smidgen, nothing too crazy. Oh, actually, he's got a fair bit back here. I guess he's just looking to try and take away the enemy's wood. Is that what he's thinking? Or just keep the villagers towards the front? That could be it. Those town center numbers still sitting relatively high. If we look here on board with Kaup, still got 7, 8, 9 TCs. Hasn't rebuilt the 10th TC just yet. But I mean, at this point, are you even making villagers anymore? I don't think you are. No, you are. Yeah, of course. No, yeah, definitely. You're still making villas at this point. I mean, he started to lose a few villagers, though. we're beyond double digits at this point. We're at 215 worker kills right now for Duyakusi. That is a huge amount of worker kills. And now in the center of the map, Kaup looking to try and push out this outpost. You can see he's holding on. He's fighting for dear life, but look at the income. Look at the resources that he's generating here. Duyakusi is starting to take off. And he's got a perfect economy. Look at this. Enough for crossbows, men-at-arms spam all day. And that's all he's spamming out. So in this position, all Kaup wants to do is just spam crossbows and sprinkles. That's pretty much it. Crossbows and sprinkles is more than enough. You can also look to go into horsemen to try and help with any kind of mangonel issues that you've got. But Duyakusi doing a really good job of just controlling Kaup. We can see upgrades finally coming through for Kaup here. He's going to be going into archers together with spearmen, which definitely makes sense considering the composite bows that you've got access to. You've also got access to camel support, which is really nice for your infantry. And if you're going to be spamming them out like that, it definitely makes the right call. Well, definitely that's the right call. More siege now coming out. Mangonel's getting off some decent shots on the front line. The unique Ghulam up against the strongest men-at-arm. I say this men-at-arm is even stronger than the Holy Roman Empire men-at-arm, just because the extra damage that the Holy Roman Empire gets is very specific, whereas the extra armor that the English one gets is against everything. And I love that. I think it's such a great upgrade. One of the best in the game, definitely. Armor cladding. Look at those stats right there. 10 armor on those bad boys. Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. Absolutely amazing stuff. But now it looks like Kaup going to be trying to hold on to this. Holding on to this game with just spears. And you can feel it starting to fall apart at this point. 30 minutes into this game. Deleting behind it. I don't know, what are you even deleting at this point? You want to try and keep everything that you've got, right? Let's check in over on this east flank. Yeah, oh my god, I just saw the military count. Is Kaup just tapping out at this point? He's still training units, so he's still not giving up. He's still not surrendering. The problem's going to be, I don't think he's got enough production. And I think that's been the theme throughout this game. I genuinely think 10 TC could work, but there's one condition. You've got to have the production for it. You have to have this around like 130, 140 villages. You just have to have a surge of wood. Put down a ton of production. I feel like that's the only way that you can do it. Because you just can't go into the late game standard. And now Duyakusi up by about 3k score. More than 15,000 resources in the bank. I think at this point, I'm pretty happy to call it. We obviously we'll wait around for the GGs, but I will remind you, if you guys do want to check out these two players, make sure you come over and say g'day. I'll leave links in the description of both of them. Obviously, Duyakusi named with the name of Twitch in there. We've got Kaup, definitely a frequent player on the channel, but now that Golden Age Tier 3 gets deactivated once again. More units heading up onto the top side. Have a look from Kaup's perspective. Look at all these points that you're under attack. Up towards the north, over towards the east side. The Wolf's getting in on the action, and he's been in here for the last 12 minutes. Camel's finally going to come out over here. Kaup looking to try and reinvigorate his stance here, but the crossbow is able to one-shot all of it out, and it's just going to be a good game. Under attack from way too many angles, and Kaup taps out. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this game. Bit of a weird one. 10 TCs. Could it be meta? I don't know. What do you reckon? I reckon that's got a chance, though. Anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.